All right, Historia, it seems we're finally alone.
Father.
I'm sorry for making you wait. Listen, Historia. I imagine that this will sound strange to you, but Frida isn't entirely dead. Your sister's memories are still alive. Would you...
Hello everyone. Welcome back to Sansan, Best Anime Reaction. In the previous episode, emotions ran high, and the characters were forced to confront harsh realities about themselves and their world. Innocence is gone, replaced by responsibility and pain. In this episode, I'm expecting deeper character development, particularly for Historia as her role becomes more significant. There's also a strong feeling that the truth behind the walls and the royal family is finally within reach. This might be a quieter episode, but often those are the most powerful. Let's move into episode 7 and uncover the truths that change everything.
Like the chance to meet her again?
Yes.
Understand, Eren. Think of your mother. You can avenge her.
Here they come. Wait. What are those? Shit. Gunpowder. Judging from those fires, the barrels must have bags of oil on them. This could get ugly.
Ned, here they come. Shoot them down.
Signal flares. We can't shoot if we can't see our targets.
24, 32, 35 total in the upper parts of the pillars. Continue the plan. We'll take them all out right here.
Everyone scatter! Let them spread out, then surround them!
I can't see shit. Damn it. Where'd they go?
The anti-personnel ODM gear has a big weakness. The anchor points in the same direction as the gun, so once it's deployed, the gun can't be aimed again. Which means that while the users move, they're vulnerable to it.
Alright, grab a seat, maybe a cup of coffee, because this recap is going to be a long ride. Just like the emotional damage Attack on Titan loves to inflict. Today we're diving deep into Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 7, an episode that doesn't rely on Titans smashing walls or people flying around like angry Beyblades, but instead quietly drops one of the biggest lore bombs of the entire series. This is the episode where the story looks straight at the audience and says, "You thought you understood this world? That's cute." So let's rewind and walk through it together, scene by scene, idea by idea, like we're just chilling and talking about the episode after watching it together. The episode opens in a surprisingly calm way, which in Attack on Titan is always suspicious. The scouts are still in hiding after the chaos with the interior police, and things feel tense, but quiet. Levi is recovering from his injuries. Hange is doing what Hange always does, being extremely intelligent while also looking like someone who hasn't slept in 3 days, and everyone is waiting for the next move. This calm atmosphere is important, because it gives space for something the series rarely allows: reflection. And the person doing most of that reflecting is Historia. Up until now, Historia has been kind of floating between identities. She used to be Krista, the sweet, self-sacrificing girl who existed almost entirely to please others. Then we learned that was basically an emotional mask shaped by trauma, abandonment, and a desperate need to be loved. In recent episodes, she started to break free from that, but in this episode, she finally steps into something solid. This is the episode where Historia stops being a supporting character in someone else's story and starts becoming a key player in the world itself. Rod Reese, her father, finally sits her down and tells her the truth, or at least his version of it. And this conversation is one of the most quietly disturbing moments in the series. There's no screaming, no fighting, no titans. Just a father calmly explaining why his daughter needs to inherit a titan power and sacrifice her humanity for the sake of peace. Rod explains the history of the royal family, the founding titan, and the cycle that has governed this world for over a century.
Attack from behind.
Look over there! Fire!
I missed! Lost him!
Die!
Sasha! Connie! Get back into the smoke before they shoot you!
Take this! Damn it!
But their greatest weakness is that once they've fired twice, they need a few seconds to reload their weapons.
We're getting slaughtered.
Damn, she's fast!
Once they've closed the range gap, swords have the advantage. We have to stop them! At this rate, they'll wipe us out!
Hey, Levi. I don't exactly have time to waste on you. But I just can't have you getting any further. So be it. I'll just have to play. Catch me if you can, boy! You're a lively one. Damn. Ain't you tired of this game yet? All right. I taught you this one. When you're chasing your enemy, you shouldn't just stare straight ahead. Hands him wet.
He talks about how the founding titan holds the power to alter memories, control titans, and essentially rewrite reality within the walls. But there's a catch, and it's a massive one. Anyone of royal blood who inherits the founding titan also inherits the will of the first Cain. And that will doesn't want freedom, progress, or truth. It wants stagnation. It wants the world inside the walls to remain trapped in ignorance forever. This is where Attack on Titan stops being just a story about survival and starts becoming a story about ideology. Rod explains that every royal successor before Historia, including her sister Frida, eventually became a completely different person after inheriting the founding titan. They stopped resisting titans. They stopped questioning the world. They accepted the cage. And Rod, despite seeing this happen again and again, still believes this cycle must continue. Not because it's right, but because he's afraid of what happens if it doesn't. That fear is important. Rod Reese isn't a mustache-twirling villain. He's a weak man clinging to tradition because he doesn't know how to live without it. He knows the truth of the world is horrifying. He knows humanity outside the walls exists. He knows titans are part of something much bigger. And instead of facing that truth, he chooses comfort over courage. He chooses a false peace over a painful freedom. And the most tragic part? He genuinely believes he's doing the right thing. Meanwhile, while this philosophical nightmare is unfolding underground, Oren is having his own mental breakdown in a cave, which honestly feels very on brand for him. He's chained up, powerless, and forced to listen to all of this history while realizing something terrifying. Everything that's happened to him might not have been random. His father, Grisha, stole the founding Titan. His father killed the Reese family. His father passed that power on to him. And now Eren is wondering if his very existence is a mistake. This episode hits Eren in a different way than usual. Normally, Eren's rage is directed outward, at Titans, enemies, the world. But here, it turns inward. He starts blaming himself for humanity's suffering. He believes that if he had never existed, if his father had never stolen that power, maybe things would be better.
It really hurt.
They know our weaknesses. Maybe I can use that.
Those shots weren't even close to hitting. It looks like I found another reckless spirit!
Now! We'll reform our defense at the fallback point! Time to regroup!
Stay out of our damn way, you little runts!
Let it down! You got the ritual site!
Will do. You try not to die.
It sounds like the enemy's drawing near. This is it. We need to hurry.
Right. What's the matter? Why are you glaring like that?
Because he's realized what it is that we have to do. The power his father stole for him must be returned to its rightful place. Historia. That place is with you. The cavern we're in now was built around a century ago, using the Titan power of our ancestor. The very same power was employed to build the three walls, and it's thanks to those enormous walls that humanity has survived. The voice of this founding Titan reached out to touch the people's hearts and altered their memories forever. Understand that although a few bloodlines were exempt, even their knowledge was lost over time. Today, humanity knows nothing of the world before the walls. The only exception is your sister, Frida Rice. Frida possessed far more than the power to become a Titan. She knew what this world was once like, and she knew what brought it to its current state. She was only 15 years old when she took the burden of that knowledge upon herself. It was
This is a huge shift for his character, because it's the first time Eren seriously considers the idea that freedom might require his own erasure. And this emotional collapse is exactly what Rod Reese wants. Rod frames Historia's choice as noble and necessary. If she inherits the Nding Titan and eats Eren, the world can return to peace. No more chaos, no more rebellion, no more inconvenient questions about what's beyond the walls. Just quiet, controlled survival. It's horrifying, but it's presented so gently that you can see how someone like Historia might be tempted. And she is tempted. For a moment, Historia has spent her entire life being told she shouldn't exist, that her life has no value unless it serves someone else. So when Rod tells her she can finally be useful, that she can finally justify her birth by sacrificing herself for humanity, it hits her right in the emotional weak spot. This is the old Krista talking. The girl who wanted to die a good death, so people would remember her kindly. But then something incredible happens. Historia remembers who she really is. She remembers Ymir. She remembers the person who told her to live for herself, even if the world hated her for it. She remembers the pain of being controlled, manipulated, and erased. And in one of the most powerful moments of Season 3, Historia rejects her father's plan completely. She doesn't just say no quietly. She physically destroys the syringe meant to turn her into a Titan. She frees Eren, and she declares that she refuses to be a god, a sacrifice, or a puppet. She chooses to be human. This moment is massive. It's not loud or flashy, but thematically, it's one of the strongest statements in the entire series. Historia chooses freedom over peace, choice over destiny, humanity over divinity, and in doing so, she becomes the exact opposite of every royal successor before her. Eren, watching this happen, is stunned. For the first time in a long while, someone saves him not with strength, but with conviction. Historia's decision reminds him why he fights in the first place, not to protect a system, but to protect the right to choose. And then, because this is Attack on Titan.
Years ago, that she performed the ritual. In this very chamber, she ate her uncle, my younger brother. In doing so, Frida inherited the founding Titan and the memories of this world, as her uncle had before her, as our ancestors have for 100 years.
Does that mean?
It's true. Had she survived, Frida could have used her tremendous powers to eliminate humanity's woes with ease. In time, she could have wiped the Titan Scourge from the face of the world. But then his father came and stole that power away. Now, that power resides within Eren, but it's wasted with him. The founding Titan's might can only be wielded by a member of our bloodline. As long as he remains the vessel for that power, this hell will never end.
Hey, just a damn minute.
Kenny,
Sounds like you said that if someone who isn't a Rice eats Eren, they won't get the powers of the king.
yes, that's right.
So then what? Even if I do turn into a Titan and eat Eren, it ain't gonna do me any good?
What are you saying?
Let him go!
What the hell's gotten into you? Do you think I'm lying?
No, I don't. I waited a long time for this day because I knew if there was one thing you weren't lying about, it was the succession ritual. Damn, you prick. You knew what I was after this whole time, and you knew I didn't have a chance in hell of getting it, but you went ahead and used me, huh?
I'm very grateful. When my brother first brought you into his service, I thought it was just one of his foolish whims, but
You keep on talking shit about Uri, and you can kiss this half of your head goodbye.
Stop it! Get away from my father!
Come on. This is pitiful. Don't you get it yet, Historia? Your daddy doesn't give a damn. He brought you here so he can turn you into a monster. And after that, he's gonna make you eat your buddy Eren.
If that's my duty, then that's what I'll do. Yeah. I've decided. I'll eat Eren and bring my sister back. I'll inherit the world's history. And exterminate every last Titan. If that's my duty, then I'll do it.
It never lets you relax. Everything immediately goes wrong. Rod Reese, backed into a corner, reveals just how far he's willing to go. He injects himself with a Titan serum in a desperate attempt to regain control. And instead of becoming some majestic, godlike Titan, he turns into an absolute nightmare. A crawling, grotesque abomination that can barely hold itself together. This is visual storytelling at its finest. Rod Reese's Titan form is a perfect reflection of who he is as a person. He wanted the power of a god, but lacked the strength to carry it. He wanted control, but couldn't stand on his own. So he becomes this twisted, broken creature that literally drags itself forward, destroying everything in its path. It's not heroic, it's not tragic, it's pathetic, and that's exactly the point. The episode ends with the scouts facing this new threat, but the real victory has already happened. The cycle of royal obedience has been broken. Historia has chosen her own path. And Eren, once again, has been reminded that freedom isn't something handed down by kings or gods. It's something you fight for, even when it hurts. What makes this episode so special is how it redefines the core conflict of Attack on Titan. Up until now, the story felt like humanity versus titans. Then it became humanity versus corrupt governments. But here, it evolves into something deeper: freedom versus comfort. Truth versus peace. Choice versus destiny. And the scariest part? There's no clear answer. The episode doesn't say Historia's choice will save the world. It doesn't promise things will get better. It just shows us that living as a human means accepting uncertainty, pain, and responsibility. And that, somehow, is still better than living as a god in a cage. So yeah, no walls fell in this episode. No cities were destroyed. But make no mistake, this episode shattered the foundation of the entire story. And from here on out, Attack on Titan is no longer just asking how humanity survives. It's asking what kind of humanity is worth surviving at all. And honestly, that question hits harder than any Titan punch ever could. One detail in this episode that deserves way more attention is what's happening inside Eren's head while everyone—
Damn it, Historia, think about this. What the hell has this old bastard ever done for you? Only reason he picked you up is because of that royal blood of yours. This piece of trash is too scared to turn into a Titan himself. That's why he forced his brother and daughter to do it for him. That's the kind of man your daddy is.
He's wrong, Historia. That isn't the truth. It's essential that I do not become a Titan myself. You mustn't believe him. I'm the only man alive you can trust.
Is that so?
Father!
Kenny, you served me well up to this moment. You're free now. Go find another purpose for your life and live out your years.
That'd bore me to death. So...
Kenny, just what are you planning to do?
if she wants to turn into a Titan, well, then that's her choice to make. But I say, the boy should get a fair shot. They can both turn Titan and fight it out. If Historia wins, well, then you'll have your peace. But if Eren takes her down, the situation stays the same. Go on living for the sake of drawing breath? That doesn't sound like any kind of life to me.
Historia! Take this injection and you'll become a powerful Titan! If you can remember, it's not enough just to bite him anywhere. To take his powers, you have to consume his spinal fluid.
Reckon I'd better step back.
Go on, you have to hurry.
Eren, why? Why aren't you transforming? You're gonna fight back, aren't you? You can't just let me! Defend yourself!
Historia, this is your chance.
It didn't have to be like this. All that death could have been avoided. 5 years ago, if Dad hadn't done what he did, your sister, she would have been able to do something to stop all this. But because my dad chose to steal your family's power from its rightful owner, countless people ended up getting killed. Armin's grandpa.
Everyone else is arguing about fate, kings, and titans. Because on the surface, Eren looks passive here. He's chained up, bruised, silent, not screaming about freedom for once. But mentally, this is one of the most violent episodes Eren has ever experienced. For the first time, Eren isn't just questioning the world. He's questioning whether he himself should exist at all. When Rod Reese explains what Grisha did, slaughtering the royal family, stealing the founding titan, breaking a sacred cycle that had lasted generations. Eren doesn't react with anger toward his father. That's the scary part. Instead of defending Grisha, Eren immediately internalizes everything as his own fault. In his mind, it doesn't matter that he was a child, or that he had no choice. He is the result of that sin, and therefore, he believes he is the sin. This is a huge psychological shift for Eren's character. Up until now, Eren's worldview has been very simple. Enemies exist, and he will destroy them. Titans were the enemy, then traitors, then corrupt officials. There was always something external he could point to and say, that's what's stealing our freedom. But in this cave, that framework collapses. Because now the enemy might be him. Eren starts thinking in terms of replacement. If Historia eats him and inherits the founding titan, maybe everything can go back to the way it was. Maybe people won't have to suffer anymore. Maybe the walls can stay standing. Maybe no one else has to die because of him. This is not heroism in the traditional sense. It's self-erasure disguised as responsibility. And that's what makes it so disturbing. Eren isn't saying, I'll sacrifice myself to save everyone. He's saying, the world might be better if I was never here. That's a completely different emotional place. It's guilt, not bravery. It's exhaustion, not courage. And when he looks at Historia, chained right across from him, he doesn't see a savior. He sees someone who can undo his existence. This moment quietly reframes Eren's entire journey. We've watched him scream about freedom since episode 1, but this is the first time we see how heavy that idea actually is for him. Freedom isn't just about breaking walls. It's about accepting the consequences of what—
Thomas, Beck, Mina, Milius, Marco, everyone on Levi's squad, the people of Stohus, and the soldiers who came to save me. And honest, I can never atone for all of their pain. That never should have happened. Those days I spent in training, that stupid dream that I could see the world. And me too. I shouldn't have happened. If nothing else, then at least let it end in your hands. Take your power back and use it to save humanity. It's all up to you.
Eren, I remember when you said I was a normal girl. I was so happy.
I see. This your idea of trying to be nice?
What's wrong, Historia? Are you scared? All you have to do is inject the liquid into your body.
Wait, Father. For 100 years, we had the power, but we didn't use it. Why didn't our family do something? If we could control the Titans, then why didn't we liberate humanity?
That's because the same king who built this world within the walls for humanity wanted us to live in fear of the Titans for all of time. The first king believed this to be the only path to lasting peace. But I can't tell you why. Because only those who've seen the world's memories can know. Many years ago, my brother and I pleaded with our father to free humanity from the Titans. We asked him time and time again. However, he would not fulfill our wish. Eventually, the time came for one of us to succeed him. After my brother completed the ritual, when I looked into his eyes, I understood. My brother wasn't there. He had become something greater, an omniscient being exempt from death who built—
happens after they fall. And right now, Eren doesn't think he deserves to face those consequences. There's also something deeply ironic here. The Founding Titan's power is about control, controlling memories, controlling history, controlling people. And yet, Eren, the person holding that power, feels completely powerless. He doesn't feel like a god. He feels like a mistake that accidentally inherited divinity. This inner collapse is exactly why Historia's decision hits him so hard. When Historia refuses to eat Eren, she isn't just rejecting her father. She's rejecting Eren's self-hatred. She's saying, without directly saying it, that his life has value beyond what he can give or take from the world. That he doesn't need to disappear to justify everyone else's suffering. And Eren, who has spent his whole life fighting for freedom on a physical level, is being shown freedom on an emotional one. The freedom to exist without apologizing for it. That's why Eren's reaction isn't a big speech or a dramatic vow. It's quiet shock. Someone has chosen him, not his power, not his usefulness, but him as a person. And that's something Eren Yeager has almost never experienced. This detail also foreshadows something much darker later in the series. Eren learns here that history is shaped by people inheriting wills they never asked for. Kings inherit ideologies. Children inherit sins. Titans inherit memories. And the question the episode plants in his mind is terrifyingly simple. If the will of the first king can overwrite royal successors, what else can inheritance overwrite? The episode doesn't answer that question yet. It just lets it sit there, heavy and uncomfortable. So while the big visual takeaway of this episode is Rod Reese turning into a crawling nightmare titan, the real horror is much quieter. It's a teenage boy realizing that his birth, his power, and his very identity might be part of a system designed to keep humanity trapped. And instead of raging against it, for a brief moment, he considers surrendering to it. That moment passes, thanks to Historia, but it never truly leaves him. And if you're watching this episode carefully, you can feel it. From this point onward, Eren is no longer just chasing freedom. He's haunted by the cost of it.
Milton rules over the world we live in. Do you know what such a being is called? God. There is no other word aside from God. So now it's my sacred duty to bring God back to this world, and then to offer up my prayers. I'm praying right now, Historia, for God to return and lead mankind once again.
Krista, I have no business telling you how to live your life. It's not my place. So I guess when you break it down, this is really just more of a hope. Krista, live a life you can be proud of.
What have you done?
God, my ass! If it's such an honor to become him, then why didn't you do it yourself? I'm done with your shit, and I'm not gonna let you murder me!
That's the spirit. Let's get good.
How are you doing, Historia?
Setting you free.
No, stop! You can't! If you don't kill me, then everyone else will keep suffering! Just eat me already, damn it! I can't live like this, so end it!
Shut up, dumbass! Stop your crying! I don't care! I don't care about killing all the Titans, and I don't care about freeing mankind either! I'm starting to get sick of humanity! I say let them get wiped out by Titans! And if that makes me an enemy of humanity, so be it!
Rod Rice becomes a Titan. To protect Mikasa and the others from a cave-in, Eren is forced to make yet another hard choice. Next episode, outside the walls of Orphoot District.
Thank you so much for watching this video on General Sansan Anime. I really appreciate you spending your time here and sharing this anime journey with me. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Your support truly means a lot and helps the channel grow stronger every day. I'll be back very soon with more exciting reactions, emotional moments, and unforgettable anime scenes for all of us to experience together. Until next time, take care, keep enjoying anime, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.